The true underlying secret to effective communication between you and someone else, you and your partner, is to focus on them more than you focus on yourself. Make it about them, not about you. Now, I know. As soon as I say that, people say, well, hold on. I've been doing that for a lot of time, right? That's all I ever do. Or it's been about them long enough. It's about me now. I need to be heard and all these things. So hear what I'm saying here. I'm not saying that you don't matter in the conversation. I'm not saying that your concerns don't need to be addressed as well in a conversation with them. What I'm saying is the better you get at your ability to truly focus on them, to almost dissect them, understand them on a level maybe you haven't understood them before, just like they haven't done to understand you, you get more knowledge on how to navigate with them, right? To get the result you want. In important conversations, or crucial conversations as we call it, people are so consumed with making sure their point is heard, their voice is heard, whatever is matters to them, the other person understands, and that their problem they have with their partner is resolved. Not, the problem the relationship's having. It's more so your equation of that problem that you feel a way about. You get so consumed so often with wanting to make sure your partner understands you so that your needs can be met, that you wind up self-sabotaging your own potential to get the results. And it's not just on you. Your partner's probably doing the same thing because everyone's there championing for their thing, their needs, what they want. If you think about it, if you truly want to get the result you want to have, you have to meet your partner at wherever they are at, with whatever they understand, with whatever they believe, whatever their opinions are, right? However they communicate, and know how to address them in the ways that they can follow with you on, to then give you the feedback you're looking for or to get the result you're looking for. In order for them to want to listen to you fully, they have to feel heard. They have to feel like you care about their thing, their concern, and it's not all about you. So that their defenses start coming down and don't feel the need to keep talking at you or listening to respond versus truly listening to understand you. The more you put energy into truly understanding what the root to their concern is, why they're having an obstacle offering you what you need, the more you can get clarity on, a different way you can approach it or something you can offer to the equation so that they feel motivated to give you what you want back in return. But it all comes full circle to you have to focus on them long enough and stop being so self-focused and trying to self-preserve so much. It makes sense. As a human, we're designed to survive, right? And if your needs are in jeopardy, you're going to start to get defensive and focus on yourself to save yourself, right? But whenever you're trying to operate with someone else and you need them to bring resolve to a problem that is relational for you guys, then now you have to focus on them more to fully understand how you need to navigate that person in order to get the result that you desire, by helping them get what they need to offer you what you need in return. So if you can take the blinders off of yourself for just long enough to understand that if you can sit and truly want to understand your partner, dive into them deeper and better than you have. Heck, and this even works with family members or friends or what have you. Truly put yourself in their shoes and try to really be them in some regard, to understand as much as possible about them, to know how you need to navigate, communicate with them, speak to them, approach the situation, right? How you would say things, how you would do things, how you would go about the equation if you really want the result that you were looking to get out of it. And part of the answer in that kind of a simple line of questioning always comes back to, well, I have to understand the person I'm talking to first, because the same approach doesn't work for everybody, because different people have different communication styles. And so you can't see that or determine what the best adjustment for you to get the results you want needs to be when you go to talk to this person, to your partner. If you don't spend enough time focusing on them, making a lot of the conversation seemingly about them so that they truly feel heard and that you truly actually understand them, so you know what you need to do to get the result that you want to get. And let me say this, I don't say this in a manipulative way. Not saying you need to dissect them to figure out how to, act a certain way, put on a front just to get a result out of them. No, what I'm saying is you want to spend more energy looking at where they're coming from position wise, and be less consumed with just trying to force what you want them to understand or to hear your struggle onto them, so that you can get clarity on why they're having blockers to hear and understand you, right? And so when I say, hey, dissect them to know how you need to approach them, it doesn't mean you become this whole different individual. It means once you start getting more clarity on what their obstacles are as to why they're giving you pushback or why you guys are butting heads, it changes the dynamics for you for how you want to approach them. It changes them from being an opponent necessarily to someone that you just get, they're not understanding you and you're not understanding them. You see them differently. And it changes the state you want to approach them in, right? And when you can focus on them long enough, you sometimes say to yourself, versus the way you were going to come into a conversation when you were all ready to come in guns blazing, maybe you're upset, you're frustrated, and you want to let them know what you're thinking. If you stop for a second and say, okay, let me focus on them and who I know them to be. If I do come in like that, as justified as I may be to come in and bring all, turned up and triggered, how would they receive it? What is my goal at the end of that? Am I doing it because I just want to be heard? Or am I most likely showing my frustration because I'm hurting from something they've done, or I don't like something that's going on and I want it to be addressed and resolved? So if that's the case, if that's my actual goal for us to be unified again, then how am I going to get that accomplished by coming in guns blazing, right? Won't I need to take a little off of that delivery? Won't I need to make sure I'm in a more positive mental state so I can be more productive when I go to talk to them, so they're willing to listen, right? But you can only come to these kind of conclusions when you're really aware of them and what they need, what they're going through, where they're coming from, what kind of approach they require to get the results you want, right? So you need enough self-awareness to be aware of their experience whenever you go to interact with them, to give yourself the best chance to get the results you're looking to have. You start taking that approach, and I guarantee a lot of your conversations will improve drastically, because you'll see the adjustments you can make to get better results in the equation, to where you take more control back into your hands as to the outcome of these conversations versus just going in and seeing what happens, right? If you want help learning how to truly build your communication skills, to take more of the reins, to have more of a dictation in how your conversations go and the outcome towards something more positive versus something that can wind up being destructive, either email or DM me coaching and we will get to work, as long as you're truly ready to put the work in. Let's get it.